welcome. We're talking about evolutionary. It's a new term that has been coined. Everybody knows evolutionary. And evolutionary, what that we understand is how changes happen over a period of time through natural selection and hopefully for the better. Sometimes complex, sometimes it's the way it is, and then it develops. So, in the Western world, when Charles Darwin came up with his theory of evolution, it really created a lot of ripples, because a lot of people, it kind of was, please, hello. They had to do a lot of explanation for the Adam and Eve story, right? If you remember, there is this little tale where this girl, she goes to her mother and asks, how did we come? How did we come upon this earth? And the mother says, well, there was Adam and there was Eve, and then they got together and they started a family, and that's how mankind happened. And then after a couple of days, she goes and asks her father that. And father says, oh, we came from the apes and then the monkeys, and then that's how the mankind happened. So she's really confused. And she says, but what was it? And she goes back to her mother and asks, hey, you said Adam and Eve, and he says monkeys. What's the truth? And the mother says, it's really very simple, because I was telling you my side of the family, and he was telling his side of the family. Right? But evolution theory, when it happened, it didn't really ripple anything in India, because we have our concept of the Dasavtar, right? And it all started with the Matsya, with the fish, and then it went on to the tortoise, and then to the boar, and then you had the angry man, and then you had the Vaman, you had the dwarf man, then the angry man, Parshuram, and then the lion, Narsimha. Yeah, that's wild boar. It's like half man, half lion. So it's also considered boar. And then the four humans. The humans with Parshuram, and then Ram, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki, whom we all await with a lot of dread. Right? But what about the women? What about the evolution? Well, we had our Devis, and we have somebody from Bengal here, so you would know all about the Devis. But the initial Devis had a very fierce kind of root, Chandi, Durga, and it mellowed down over time, and they became also domesticated. And then you had something very gentle as Parvati and more householder kind of. And then all happened, okay? All ladies' league happened, and that's been evolutionary, I think, for the women of the world. And we have a proof today with Dr. Harbeen Arora being nominated in the top 100 influential and reputable women of the world. So a lot has happened for women. We at all, Karnataka, in Bangalore, we got together and we thought that let's have a conversation among ourselves about mythology and how it can impact the women of today. I think mythology is also part of an evolution, and we need to go back to mythology, to retell it, to connect with it, because what happens is, with evolution, we know where we come from, but we don't know where we're going. That is something we can learn from mythology. So we decided to dip into the stories that appeal to us and pick up characters, the Eves, whom we liked and who had impacted us, and then write about them as our muse. We have done that, and tomorrow Harbeen is going to release this book, which you have the privilege of seeing today because that was the session. It's called Thus She Spake, and it's got 5 tales of our mythology, and they span different facets of womanhood and also women at different age groups. So, sorry, I missed it. Welcome. Yes. So I was just telling everybody that this is the book that Harbeen is going to release tomorrow. And it is the feminine spirit. We can all relate to it. There are stories of Shiva's daughter. Did you know Shiva's daughter? Yes, she did. And she was a goddess in training, so there's a story about her, the child goddess. And then we come to a teenager, that's Radha. Radha's story is written by me. And then we have Urvi. Urvi was Karan's wife of Karan. Yeah, that's right. So that was another story which needed to be told. And then we have Surupnaka. One of us was very fascinated with Surupnaka. So that's a middle-aged woman. We wanted to do that. And then in the twilight years, we have Gandhari. So these are the 5 stories that you will read in this book. And you're welcome to, if you want to pick it up now, you can do so. It has been beautifully illustrated also. You will see the drawings are beautifully illustrated and they bring the story to life. And we have the artist here with us, that's Bharti Sagar. Bharti Sagar is a renowned artist who has international fame, and she has illustrated this book. So I'm going to invite Bharti and ask her about how the art world has treated women. Okay?
Can I add just one?
Yes.
You have taken the characters all from mythology.
Yes.
Is your story relevant? I mean, it's in sync with those
Yes,
mythology,
it
or
is.
you have reframed it from a new perspective of your point of view?
No. The incidents are same,
Achha,
but we've
retold.
got into the skin of the character. Like we have these iconic scenes which we have in our mind. This happened at this time.
Yes.
What happened before that? What happened after that? You know? So, and what were their feelings? We've tried to get into the skin of the character, and some of these stories have been told for the first time. So, just a minute, you give to Bharti. Thank you.
Thank you, Suchitra. Yes, thank you so much. I'll just read a bit. So, actually, I feel that I'll take this opportunity now to talk about the women in art.
Yes.
So, why is it that for so long this so many of the female artists were ignored, and we don't have many names. I don't think we should try to remember. We don't. There are only a few we can name on our fingertips. So the situation is much better now for us. So why is it so hard for people to accept the intellectual and creative authority of artists and writers who are women? So even Jackson Pollock, who's a very famous artist, his wife Lee Kessner was a great influence on him. So that is being recognized now after generations. And even this, the original thought of Simone Beauvoir, that is also attributed to John Paul Sartre, who was a philosopher and a writer. But she was a great influence. Her thoughts were what he was, putting down. And for the art historians to recognize art of Italian painter Enisa and as hers and not her father's, even though there were some which she had signed, they would still attribute it to her father. So is it because art and writing which is by men is more elevated and more serious, while work by women is considered frivolous and more emotional? So does masculinity have a purifying effect, or femininity a pollutant one? So what is the reason we want to try and understand? But of course now, happily, there is a lot of difference. There are a lot of women artists who are also being appreciated, and they're given importance. So that's all I want to say.
That's right. We have a lot to think about, but it's forums like this where the evolution happens. And it's so wonderful that you all are there and giving your time and thought to this great journey. And if you see in Harbeen's the poster, which lists all the names, and then do you know her number?
It's at the
It's 21, and I said women have come of age. And that's evolutionary, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's have a group photo. You can have a group photo. Yeah. Yes. And can we all have, ladies, please join us for a group picture. Yes. And gentlemen too. Please join us.
Such an interesting topic. I was hoping to have a question.
I know. We're going to continue. We'll continue.
Yeah, it's a wonderful topic, and I have so many queries to ask.
I know.
Yeah,
We've been
I'll have to
15
sit
minutes.
with you.
Yes, we've been given. Ladies, please come. More the merrier.
Can I call my children?
Yes, please.
Bachas,
come.
please come.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to buy this is at right now for 500, and it'll be on Amazon and Kindle tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, are you taking on the whose camera is that?